Hey guys, it's me again, Hellhound. So what happened was I was in the middle of filming my thoughts on the new Star Wars video, and somebody called me, and for some reason I have this setting on my iPad to where when somebody calls me, they call on my iPad too. That's what I use to record these videos, by the way, so the big reveal, the equipment that I use is an iPad. So when they called, it interrupted the video and it stopped my feed, stopped the recording entirely. So I wasn't planning on this being a two-parter, but I guess it'll have to be now, because I have a lot more to say about my thoughts and first impressions on Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So welcome to part 2 of that video. Again, wasn't planning on being 2 episodes of this, but somebody called and I need to change the settings on my iPad. But anyway, what I was saying was I saw the movie in 3D. The 3D was really great. I first sat down, in the theater. They showed the trailer for the new Ninja Turtles movie, which is now called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. It was going to be called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Half Shell. I like this new title way better. That was also the title of a video game. It came out a few years ago, too. And Bebop and Rocksteady are in it. They look great. Finally we're seeing them in a movie. It also hinted that it might have Dimension X, maybe the Technodrome. It looked like a takeover from some other dimension or outer space or something. Krang might be in it, or the Utroms at least. That'll be good. Casey Jones, played by Stephen Amell, was a good choice for Casey, but his hair is not long enough. It's way too short. And I don't know if I like the mask either. It kind of covers his entire head instead of just his face. I don't know whose idea was it for him to have such short hair, but that was I knew they'd find a way to screw it up. But overall, I'm looking forward to it. Also, the new Batman vs Superman trailer was shown in front of it. Gal Gadot, whatever her name is, who plays Wonder Woman, actually looks pretty good. I was a little skeptical on her at first because I thought she wasn't muscular enough, didn't look enough like a warrior princess, but I think she'll actually end up doing pretty good. Ben Affleck and Jesse Eisenberg, both I think will do good jobs. I was hesitant about them too. I was kind of like, oh god, it's terrible casting, but they both look great in the trailer. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be really good, and Doomsday is going to be in it too. Yeah, so if you didn't know that already, that makes you want to see the movie even more, so it'll be great. But anyway, back to Star Wars. I just want to talk about my full experience, including some of the previews. So yeah, Ninja Turtles and Batman vs Superman are some movies I'm definitely really looking forward to this coming year. 2016 is going to be a great year for movies. Okay, yeah, I already said this in the last video. This one felt more like an actual Star Wars movie than the prequels. Maybe I'll talk about a little bit of spoilers in this video. Maybe it was a happy accident that somebody called me. The first video was my initial thoughts, spoiler-free. This video I'll talk about a little bit of spoilers. The first good thing is there's no Gungans in this movie. No Gungans whatsoever, so no Jar Jar Binks, who is the real evil. Forget Darth Vader and the Emperor and Darth Maul and all of them, Kylo Ren. Jar Jar Binks was the true evil for the Star Wars franchise. There's no Ewoks either, thank goodness. So this video will be more for people who have seen the movie. I want to talk about that a little bit, okay? So the biggest spoiler, the biggest thing that happens, now turn the video off if you have not seen the movie, or if you don't want it to be spoiled, because I am going to reveal all the surprises, every twist. I'm going to talk about all of them in this video. So turn it off now if you haven't seen it. This is your last warning. If you don't want it to be spoiled, stop the video. Alright, the main thing that happens, Han Solo is killed. It's revealed that Kylo Ren, the main villain who follows Darth Vader's footsteps, is the son of Han and Leia. So he's Luke Skywalker's nephew as well, and Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker's grandson. He becomes evil. He joins the dark side. He's got a pretty cool red lightsaber with 2 additional smaller beams on the sides. They had to find something that would try to top the double lightsaber Darth Maul had in Episode 1. I guess that was like the best thing they could think of, but it was pretty cool. So Kylo Ren kills his father, Han Solo. Now, when that first happened, I thought, oh my god, what have they done? This sucks. It ended in 83. This is just fan fiction. Screw this. But that only lasted for like 5 seconds, because then right after that I was like, well, wait a minute, it kind of fits in the context of the movie, and I'm just glad we got to see Han Solo at all. I'm just glad this movie was made. You know, for years I thought there would never be an episode 7. I never thought they'd continue on from the original trilogy, and we just had the bad taste of the prequels left in all our mouths. No redemption. But yeah, so Han Solo dies. Luke Skywalker's barely in it at all. He shows up at the very end. He doesn't say a word. Rey finds him on some desolate planet. He's been, in isolation for all these years. He's vanished. The whole movie is pretty much about finding him. He doesn't say a word. It just shows him for a few seconds. So I think he'll be in Episode 8 a lot more. I think it'll be centered around him, much like Han Solo was in this movie so much. I think the next one will definitely center around Luke. I'm really hoping he doesn't die too, unless it's at the very end, a heroic death where he sacrifices himself. Han Solo kind of died like, it wasn't a very heroic way, and I kind of saw it coming. Killed by his own son. Leia was just showed her in tears. She's just like, no, my son's, joined the dark side, and he's killed, the love of my life, Han, basically. You can tell they were kind of had an on and off relationship. It was hinted at. There's a lot left out. A lot that we, a lot of things must have happened in between Return of the Jedi and this movie. Maybe they'll go a little more into that. Like, how did that one lady, I already forgot her name, she has a short little orange chick. Oh my god, her name escapes me at the moment. Like, how did she get Luke's old lightsaber? She mentions that it's a story for another time. She said, it called to Rey, it called out to her, it belonged to Luke's father, and then Luke, I'm not sure how she got a hold of it. It'll probably explain that. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember her name. But you'll know who I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. I think Rey is going to end up being Luke's daughter. For one thing, she kind of looks like him. She was a little similarly dressed to the way he was in the original Star Wars from '77 or Episode 4, A New Hope, if you want to call it. Yeah, she kind of looked like him from A New Hope, like the way she was dressed. And then the Force, she immediately knew how to use the Force. She knew how to use a lightsaber. She fooled a few of the stormtroopers using the Jedi mind trick and stuff. Her powers. And, I think she'll end up being Luke's daughter. So I'm calling it now. At first I thought maybe she'll be, end up being Kylo Ren's twin, and she'll be, the daughter of Han and Leia. But I'm thinking she's going to be Luke's daughter. He didn't say a word when they saw each other at the very end, and then, the end credits started rolling right after that. It was just like, whoa. Oh gosh, I tell you, when it first came on and we first heard the iconic music and the opening scroll, it said Episode 7, the text went up at the screen, I was just like, whoa, I can't believe it's actually happening. Huge Star Wars fan my whole life. I saw the prequels, Episode 1 in theaters, very disappointed. It was nice to actually see a real Star Wars movie in the theater. It felt so authentic. But yeah, I've already said it in the last video, so yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. It was great. It was the best thing since Return of the Jedi, so that's Star Wars related. But I'll talk about a few more spoilers. C-3PO and R2-D2 return. R2-D2 doesn't really do anything till the very end when he has the missing piece of the map. BB-8, which is a new droid, who belonged to that guy Poe, and then he's now usually with Rey. He had the other piece of the map, so it's kind of like a puzzle coming together, kind of like the old trilogy and the new trilogy, kind of bridging that gap, between the two, so making it all part of a bigger franchise, an overall Star Wars universe, which is just awesome. Still so thrilled they're making a new trilogy. And this was a great beginning. I will say a lot of it echoed A New Hope. It felt like a lot of scenes. There was a lot of repetition. It felt like kind of like a, it was like almost just like A New Hope. Like so many scenes mirrored that movie. Like the same setup, the same sequence of events kind of happened the same way, which I thought was good. So they maybe did play it a little too safe, but it was better seeing that. Kylo Ren is basically just Darth Vader. Though not as intimidating or as iconic. But I guess it was better to play it safe than do what they do with the prequels, because we all know how that turned out. But they did kill off Han Solo, so, they did take risks. They definitely took risks. And as I said, my initial reaction was, oh my god, what did they just do? Maybe go back to thinking Return of the Jedi was the perfect ending and it should be tampered with. But then I changed my thoughts and I was like, well, it kind of fit. It kind of had its place. It made you hate Kylo Ren that much more. It made him more of a villain, more of an antagonist. I'm not really sure if he died or not, to be honest with you. It showed that Rey really wounded him, and then the main villain, Supreme Leader Snoke, who's kind of just like the Emperor. Yeah, as I said, a lot of things are kind of rehashed in this one, but it's okay, I'd rather see, more of the same done right than I like seeing things different, but the prequels were too different and just too much style over substance. But yeah, Snoke mentioned something about go get Kylo Ren. I think he might have survived. I thought maybe he would turn good eventually, but he already killed Han Solo, so there's no redemption for him, at least not to me. He'll never be forgiven for that, so I just want to see him pay for that. I would have liked to see Luke interact with Han. That's one complaint I do have, that Han was killed, towards the end of the movie. Then it showed Luke. He doesn't even know yet that Han died. I mean, he might have felt it, in the Force, or whatever, or something. But, I would have liked to see, some more, scenes with them two, old comrades. But I like seeing Leia. It was cool when it finally showed her. It's like it felt like every 15 minutes or so they introduced one of the old characters, just like whoa, Darth Vader's melted mask, whoa, then the Millennium Falcon, so it was very nostalgic. Unlike the prequels, where it didn't even feel like you were watching a Star Wars movie. The only good thing about those, they had Yoda and more of Emperor Palpatine. And showing how his setup was interesting. I thought Revenge of the Sith was pretty good for that reason. And also Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought Ewan McGregor did a good job. Definitely worthy of being having Alec Guinness pass the torch, so to speak. Even though he was deceased, but I think he would have been proud. But any more spoilers I can think of? I would say that you'll definitely enjoy this movie. It feels like a Star Wars movie. Well, if you're watching this Part 2 video, you've probably already seen it, or you just don't mind things being spoiled for you. So if you haven't seen it, you're going to love it. You're pleasantly surprised. You'll be, it feels like a Star Wars movie. I think you'll be blown away like I was. If you have already seen it, I'm sure you're just as excited as I am for Episode 8. Seeing Luke at the very end, I'm sure you were just as thrilled as I was. I had like a nerdgasm. For sure. He looked great too. He had the beard, everything. He just looked like a wise old man. Just like how Yoda went into exile. It's like the original characters filled in like kind of a new. Like they kind of took over for like the wise old mentors in the original trilogy. Like now they had become like the the older generation. Maybe training a new group of rebels, to fight the Empire. But yeah, so great. Very pleased. I guess I'll go ahead and wrap this video up. I think there's enough spoilers. I think I talked about everything I want to talk about. I'll probably review each of the other Star Wars movies. I already talked about it on my Dead Level Discussions video with the Star Wars discussion, but I think I might give them each a review. Then I might give this movie a full-length, in-depth analysis, a full review. This was just my first impressions and thoughts. We had a spoiler-free video, then a video that contained spoilers, a two-parter. And, I'll go ahead and wrap this video by saying I was very pleased, I loved it, and I look forward to seeing more. So, until next time, my friends, I'm Hellhound, and thank you for watching my show, and may the Force be with you.